How you doing, everybody? This is the Chatted Up Sports Network, where you get the best local sports coverage. I'm Rami, that's my boy T, and we're going to talk a little USC, UCLA football right now. T, why don't you talk to me about that USC defense a little bit? What's going on with them?
Last year, the defense was bend but not break, but definitely
Mhm.
not up to traditional SC standards. Um, this year, they have a lot of young and upcoming guys. One guy I like to focus on first is TJ McDonald.
Yeah.
He's probably the leader of the group. Returned for his senior year, which was huge. He's all Pac-12, All American. He was a Thorpe Award finalist. Um, his presence alone will stabilize all the DBs in that back half of the defense because they got some young corners on the outside and a free safety that's pretty young as well.
Yeah.
Um, Another unit that I like to focus on is the linebacking core. Those guys are all sophomores, so they're all young. They were very productive. Got Hayes Pullard and Deion Bailey, both had 81 tackles apiece, and Lamar Dawson came in 8 starts and had 25 tackles as a true freshman. So another year under their belt. These guys are already fast, strong, and aggressive. We should start seeing a little bit more of that classic USC hard-nosed defense.
Absolutely, and we all know how Lane Kiffin gets down in practice. These are full-speed practices. They're hitting. There's no soft stuff going on. This is the real deal type of stuff. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the offense. Obviously, we know T.J. McDonald is kind of looking like an Ed Reed-ish, kind of leader of that defense, even though, no disrespect, Ray Lewis. But let's talk a little offense. Matt Barkley came back, unfinished business. We all know the story. Probably a good decision on his part. I'm sure he'll go number one this year in the draft, but he's got a lot of help. I mean, he's got that receiving core. You got Robert Woods, Marquise Lee, George Farmer, who can also play running back. You got Curtis McNeil over there at running back, who's been a stud. The little guy's a stud. And that offense is looking really good. Now, you got a young fella named Xavier Grimble, who's coming up through the ranks a little bit, a highly touted tight end coming out of high school. I want to see what he can do. I think he can be very productive. That offense is looking really good. If the defense holds up, I think they're in good shape. Now let's talk a little UCLA, the other side of the town. What do you think about that UCLA D?
You know what? I think UCLA's defense this year is going to be a little underrated. I think there will be a surprise in the Pac-12. Even over the years, they've never been bad. I think that was more of a product of the offense not being efficient enough. But they always hit hard. They always play tough. I think they just get worn out in games, from a bunch of 3-and-outs from the offense. They got a transfer from North Carolina, Brandon Willis. He's going to play a nose tackle. They're transitioning from a 4-3 to a 3-4, and they think they found their guy in Brandon Willis. He only goes about 6'3", 275, but he has all the traits of a typical nose tackle. He's big, he's strong, and on top of that, he's very agile and very quick for a little man. If that's what you want to call that, nose tackle. But another guy is
I wouldn't
Eric
call him that.
Kendricks, a linebacker, outside linebacker. He's probably the most athletically gifted and talented linebacker in that core. He goes about 6'2", 230. Had 76 tackles last year, 4.5 for a loss, and 2 sacks. With the opening up of this 3-4 defense, I think he'll get a little bit more of a chance to rush the passer. So, yeah, definitely look out for UCLA to surprise some people on defense this year.
I think you're pretty much right on that one. I mean, I think they are a little underrated. Now, the offense, I'm worried about, and I'll tell you why. Usually we hear stuff about running back by committee. They got like quarterback by committee. I mean, Kevin Prince a couple years back, and then Richard Brejo coming in and out of it. I like Brejo. I watched him play local high school football. He's good. That's a good quarterback. Franklin's been a good running back for him. Jonathan, he does his thing. He's super solid. I want to see him in the league someday. Now, they have a transfer named Shaquille Evans from Notre Dame, who was originally a local dude. Came from a local Southern California high school, went to Notre Dame. Now he's back at UCLA. He's back home. Let's see some things, Shaquille. I want to see big things out of you, man, because you're back home now. You're with your people. Give us what we want. I think that offense will be a little bit better. They did steal a few players from SC over the last couple of years in recruiting, so let's make sure that pays off. I'm happy Neuheisel's gone. I thought Neuheisel was a joke. You don't yell at your quarterback in front of everybody all the time, on screen, on TV, in front of the players, in the locker room. I mean, the guy was just irate. I don't get it. I want to see Jim Mora. I'm happy about it. He's a good offensive coach. I mean, coached in the league for the Falcons for some years, and is going to bring not the pistol, but a real offense to UCLA. I don't know what the pistol was about. There's only one team that runs it. It's called Nevada, and no one else does it, probably for a reason. What do you think about that, T?
Yeah, I think you know what, they'll Mora being there is going to be huge for him, and I think Neuhauser was a hype hire based off his past with Washington, but I think he lost his magic a little bit. They need some new blood in there, man, and I definitely think Moore is going to, bring in a different mentality to a team, and he'll be able to complete them in terms of, the balance of their offense and defense and bring them closer together so one's not carrying the other. I mean, I love the hire. I think it'll pay dividends in the future, and I think that UCLA USC rivalry game will be a lot more interesting to watch than it has in the past.
Playoffs? I think we all know playoffs. I just want to hear Jim Mora Jr. say that one time because I love his dad. His dad is the man, and there are no playoffs. Well, there will be a playoff soon, actually. So we just might get to hear him do a little take on that. Let's ask the fans, who's going to be the better team this year, USC or UCLA? I'm going SC. T, where are you going?
I think I'm going to have to go SC, man.
Yeah, it's the betting man's choice. All right, folks, let us know what y'all think, and we'll catch you again soon. T-Bone, we signing out.
Adios.
Adios.